'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house no one was touching that bottle of grouse. The vodka was open, double trouble, of course, served over ice, but not for Santa Claus. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while Dad's on the dartboard, missing his reds. Whilst visions of 170s danced in his head, the tungsten went clattering into the wrong bed. Whilst Mama in her dart shirt and Peter Wright wig was making sure that the measures were big. When out on the landing, there arose such a clatter. The bottle was empty, that's what was the matter. Away to the larder I flew like a flash, hoping my wife hadn't found my secret stash. As I rounded the corner to empty my drawers, I was stopped in my tracks by a drunk Santa Claus, with his tunic of red drawn round his round hips, and a bottle of double trouble pressed tight to his lips. "You've drunk it all, Santa," I yelled with affright. "Merry Christmas," he hiccuped, and to all a good night.
Welcome back to episode 48 of Tall Boy Radio. We're here, we're at the end of the year. This is the last episode that we are recording for 2020. We're showing it the door. And we're wishing everybody who's watching, who's stayed with us for the last 12 months near enough, a very Merry Christmas. This one's going to drop on Christmas Eve on YouTube, and it's going to drop on Christmas Day on audio. So, guys, do you want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas while I remove this really annoying beard?
Merry Christmas, guys. It's been great having you along for the ride over the last sort of, I say, 12 months or so. Here's to a very prosperous new year and many, many, many more TBR episodes to come. And just because it is a Christmas special, I went for my possibly favourite drink at the moment, which is Hoegaarden. Can't have a Christmas special at Hoegaarden. And as normal, I am drinking it out of a TBR official podcast glass. Looking forward to this one. Love Christmas in December.
Well, let's just love Christmas and be done with it. Andy?
Yeah, Echo Gas. I'm drinking a JD as it's a Christmas drink for me.
Yes.
As is drunk every weekend. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, Christmas on the weekends. That's the way I like it. Well, because it's Christmas, I've got two different beers. First time I've done that. So I picked Christmas beers as well. So this is a brewery I'm not familiar with, but they've done one called Very Bad Elf. So it is a proper special reserve ale. It's a 50 centiliter bottle and it's 7.5%. Looking forward to that one. And actually, I've tasted it. It's pretty good. And then the one I've saved to the end. It's a dark holiday stout. Another 7.5% one from the same brewery. So I'm looking at trying that bad boy.
That looks like that should be remedy for a cough more than a beer. It's like,
it might be.
It might work. You never know.
This might be what solves that old coronavirus conundrum.
Never know.
So yeah, Christmas episode. Like I said, we're quite excited about this. And if you do take the time to listen, if you listen to this on the day of release, then thank you very much. Enjoy your Christmas day. We'll be enjoying ours when this drops. We're recording it in very, very early December, but we've got our Christmas garbs on. Do you want to, if you watch on YouTube, guys, show us the T-shirt. We've got the reindeer there, Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer.
Yeah, there you go. It's a little bit reindeer, and I did have some Rudolph sort of antlers somewhere, but they seem to have been misplaced, so I can't find them. And I haven't got my Christmas jumper because I will be sweating profusely in it. Hence why I went for just a Christmas T-shirt instead.
I know, you'd be silly to wear a jumper.
I know. I know.
Andy, what are you wearing? It's not a jumper, I see, but
T-shirt.
It's a lovely T-shirt. But I've got a Christmas jumper on. Look at this. Here we go. My official NFL Steelers ugly sweater, and that brings me on to our first topic, because Christmas 2020 let's not ignore it. It's going to be a little bit different, isn't it, to other Christmases? So we're missing out on a couple of things that we'd normally do, and I want to mention those two things because these are the two for me. The two are the biggest misses at Christmas. I wear this jumper and embarrass Andy once a year. We go to Chelford. We go to, what's the name of the pub we go to, Andy?
Edge and Arms.
The Edgerton Arms, yeah. So we have a Christmas meal out every year, and it's a decent old pub in it. It's a typical old country pub that, if you're listening on the last episode, the lottery episode, the sort of pub that Andy would love to run to avoid me and Gaz. That's one of the big misses. It's always a cracking night out, unless we have to drive. Unless it's, those times when we have to drive, it's not so much fun. But yeah, they have some decent beers on there, don't they?
Yeah, and the food as well.
And the food, yeah, great food.
I think the thing is always funny because it's like early December when we go, and we're wearing like Christmas stuff. You shouldn't celebrate Christmas until closer to the 25th.
Oh well, we'll get on to that in a little bit. And the other thing I'm going to really miss this year is we do something called, well, I mean, Gas call anyway, the Geeks Christmas meal.
Yeah.
And this is going to be the first year, and I don't know how many years we've missed that. How many years is it we've been doing that?
I honestly, genuinely, I don't know how many years we've been doing it, and it's a tradition that we sort of started. It must be 20 years ago.
Yeah, I think it must be. Yeah, I think
it must be 20 years, and obviously for those that know us, we're basically geeks, me and Ad, and sort of proud of being geeks. And there's a couple of other geeks that sort of are in our little group, and we used to go out every sort of Christmas, and we would take sort of wives, girlfriends, and stuff. I think initially maybe it's just the geeks, but then I think we sort of extended it to, we'd have a couple of beers with the geeks, and then it became a Christmas meal with sort of girlfriends at the time, and now sort of wives and stuff. And it's just an excuse just to go out, just, sit down, have some food, some good, some bad, over the years. But just go out, just celebrate the year. So and it has become a proper tradition. And sort of there's various sort of, and we might get into the Geeks Christmas meal sort of thing as funny stories related through the years and stuff.
If you want to share any of them now, dude, but as long as you involve me, feel free.
I mean, we sort of laugh, and my brother Sid is the brunt of some of the gags and stuff, and it's funny because we went through a phase. It's like, what we're going to do for the Geeks Christmas meal, and like it would effectively be me or Ad left to organise it. That's how it works every year. It'd be like either me or Ad. It's like, right, come on then, Ad, what are we going to do? Well, we can go here, and to be fair, we used to spread it around. So the restaurants of all stages, there was, we'd go to various places, and it might be an Indian, it could be a Chinese, there was a Mexican. We went one year. A couple of different sort of pubs and stuff. So, but it's generally left for me and Ad to sort of organise. And I think the couple of years it's been left to Sid, it's been like, where are we going? Well, I don't know. And it got later and later and later. And like, so me and Ad just book it. It's like, we're just booking it. Right, we're going here now, sort of thing.
He did organise it one year at the Manor, actually, and that was pretty decent, give him his dues.
Yeah, to give him his dues. He was, and I might be doing him a bit of a disservice. But the funny story about the Geek Christmas meal was it the Mexican, and they brought us out the tequila. Was it the tequila towards the end of the night? And we've been in this Mexican. It's not open now. We've been in this Mexican place, and we'd had food was decent. Wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. It was okay. Anyway, they brought us out some drinks at the end of the night, and we'd had some tequila, wasn't it? And then one of the glasses that they brought out was like really strong, and the other two weren't actually that bad. And the barmaid's like, it's on the house. Try to figure out which one is the sort of strong one and stuff. So we were drinking these things, and they brought one out with a worm, didn't they? And it was like, right, you got to get it down, you sort of thing. And Sid, if you listen, I apologise, but oh my god, it was funny. And he kept looking at this glass. He's like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it like this. And of course, me and Andy just like, way, bump, like straight down. And he was a bit like, I don't know. And then he goes. just you go to the toilet. So he went to the toilet and then follows him with a camera and basically took a camera and he basically barfed this like worm thing back up into the sink. It's like, Sid, what are you doing? Something, and that was that was sort of a sort of funny story. But yeah, it did become a bit of a tradition, and this genuinely will be the first time in years and years that we haven't been able to do it. And I will miss it, genuinely. I will miss it.
I'm missing it. I'm missing
Maybe
it. I'm missing
a video call between you.
Yeah,
I think you suggested it, guys. And to be honest, I'm pretty sick to the back teeth of the old Zoom quizzes from the early part of the lockdown.
I know, yeah.
Just a quick hello, quick drink.
That's it. Let's just get on. Let's just everybody have a drink, have a bit of a chat, and be done with it that way. We'll get ourselves in a bit of a mess, drinking stupid things. We can do it externally without the worry of, he's not gonna be sick on me, is he? No, he's not, because he's in somebody else.
Because he's at home.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
so,
I don't know. It's one of those. I'd love if sort of after we come out of the lockdown, we go into tiers or that 5-day thing. You know what? I'd love to be able to sort of say to Ad and Kim, is there any? I don't know what your bubble are like. I don't know what our bubble will be like. But let's at least see if we can, even if just over the fence, we can have a couple of beers or whatever. I don't know how it'll work, but I'll be pretty annoyed if we can't.
No, we'll sort it.
We'll sort of cider.
Yeah, just go down the park. We'll just go down the park and have it there. That's it. We'll just do it there. It's not a problem. Don't mind that at all. But yeah,
we're recording this episode now. Come December 25th, when it's released, we'll probably both be in the cells for breaking lockdown rules.
Well, let's hope not.
Okay, yeah, let's hope we get away with it.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Well, yeah, more people listen to us. Just ignore what we just said. We won't do it. Promise. He says.
So So here, I'm going to chuck out a Christmas tradition then that I've learned of this year. You know me. I love Christmas, don't I? If there's one person you think about who loves Christmas, I'd like to. If it's not me, then I'm disappointed because I love Christmas. We talked about putting our tree up. Gaz, I think you mocked me in a previous episode about your tree up prior to December.
I did.
When did your tree go up?
It's the last weekend of November. I did relent. Yeah. And the only reason, obviously, we sort of covered it in a previous podcast, but 2020 has been pretty horrendous for a variety of reasons. Amy finished her mock exams. She's in my eldest daughter's in year 11. She finished her mock exams, and we sort of said on the Friday, what do you want to do? She said, we'll have a takeaway just to celebrate and stuff. That's fine. And I was a bit of a Grinch, and I was always like, no, it's got to be December. You can't put decks up before December. It's not allowed. So then I said, what we need to do though in the morning is we need to just perhaps go around and have a look at where maybe we would put the decks next week and sort of plan where we're going to put them. They were like, oh yeah, we can do, yeah, that'll be okay. And then obviously we woke up on a Saturday morning. It's like, actually, you know what? We'll just put them up. And the kids, even now, they're 15 and 13 and they're like, oh, can we put, and literally with the decks have gone up and stuff. So we have an artificial tree. It's a 6-7 foot artificial tree in our back room. And then we normally go and get a real tree in our lounge. But we won't get that probably for another week or so. Just you don't want to put it up too early, just in case it might start wilting and dropping and stuff. So, but it was last weekend in November, so I did relent.
If you watch it on YouTube as well, by the way,
I've just burped, by the way.
Yeah, he has burped. I wasn't going to mention that. I was going to gloss over it, but
no,
he did. I think
it was just a little. He was like.
A little bit excited about Christmas.
One of those ones with a little bit of residual in the back of the throat as well. I think it was.
It was.
If you watch it on YouTube, I'm in my back room. This one isn't real. If you're listening to audio, go on, give us another listen. Stick it on. Your grandma will love it. So this is something I've learned of this year. Wassailing. Have you ever heard of wassailing?
I have, but I can't tell you what it was and where I've heard it. And I don't know what it means.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's the insightful view of it. If you remember way back when we talked about the Halloween episode, I mentioned something called mumming, which is where you went door to door when we talked about trick-or-treating, how we felt about this. Well, wassailing is a pagan thing. and it is celebrated around this sort of time of year. So wassailing, there's two types. There's home wassailing, where you go from door to door and you offer people a bowl of booze to take it a spoonful while you sing to them and they help themselves to drink in return for a present. Or there's orchard wassailing, where you sing to the trees and drink cider to bless them. I've never heard of wassailing, but I'm a big fan of it already.
It involved drinking cider, so yeah. What's not to like? Maybe
Cinnamon
singing to the
cider.
trees. Cinnamon cider. Cinnamon? No, forget. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of cinnamon, so forget that.
See, Andy, you're a big cider fan. I thought you'd have come across. I bet you've been wassailing without even knowing it.
Yeah, it's involuntary. Never heard it.
No. But I came across it in my first time in my 47 years. So this year, then, let's talk about what we're doing for Christmas this year. Let's gloss over the fact that we're not meeting up like we'd like to be doing. Let's talk about Christmas at home versus Christmas with the relatives. What are your plans, guys? What are you doing for Christmas Day?
So we originally were going out for Christmas. So we've done the old sort of Christmas meal in. And last year we went to the Wheat Sheaf in Sandbach, and it was just phenomenal. It was brilliant. Food was out of this world. And yes, you pay a slight premium in terms of the price and stuff. But for me, because Jenny and Jenny's mum, they obviously they do a lot of the prep and a lot of the cooking and stuff. Last year we went out, and you know what? It was worth paying for it just to see Jenny be able to, on Christmas morning, be with the kids, open the presents, and not have to worry about, I've got to go and prep that food, or I've got to go and put that in the oven, or I've got to go, just actually be able to enjoy Christmas morning and stuff. And we had a fantastic meal and came back. But obviously this year we were due to go out again with Jenny's mum and dad and granddad, but they're now coming to us. So we will be hosting. So there'll be me, Jenny, the two kids, and then Jenny's mum and dad, who are in our bubble, and then Jenny's granddad, who is in Jenny's mum and dad's bubble. So you are allowed one extra. So effectively, they're coming to us for Christmas Day. Jenny's sister and boyfriend, and they will be classed as our third bubble effectively. They are coming over Christmas Day late afternoon, so no food and stuff. So they're going to come over for a couple of drinks. Christmas Day, so Christmas at home, which will be nice. It'll be great. We've done it before, but not for the last couple of years because we've been out. So it'll be different, be a bit of a change. I just hope it doesn't impact on Jenny and Jenny's mum too much in terms of them having to prep and do all the, effectively all the cooking and all the stuff. And I'll just be sitting there drinking. It's great. Love Christmas. Brilliant.
Love drinking. So yeah, before we move on to Andy then and find out, just want to chuck one at you then, dude, because basically don't want to get too bitter about it, but this is my week off. I'm off work at the moment. I should be in Centre Parks now enjoying watching my kids sat on Centre's knee and watching the fireworks and everything there. You've actually done Centre Parks at Christmas, haven't you, dude? You actually were there on Christmas Day once. How was that for you?
Yeah, brilliant. It was amazing. We took the kids this a few years ago now, then we were a bit younger. And it was brilliant. The whole place is just magical. When you go at Christmas, the whole place is magical. And if it snows, it makes it even better because it's just a winter wonderland. And I know that Centre Parks, they do like a winter walk and they do make it snowy and stuff. But it was brilliant, and we cooked. So we took the food with us, and Jenny sort of cooked, just not massively extravagant, but just a turkey crown and veggies and stuff. And we opened the presents. We took some with us and blessed them. The girls were like, "Will Santa know where we are?" And it's like, yeah, don't worry. We told him that the main presents he'll still deliver, but we have told him we're going to be there, so we will deliver some. So we took some of the smaller ones with us, and they opened them on Christmas Day morning. And then we had sort of Christmas Day lunch, and then we went swimming Christmas Day afternoon.
Winner.
Mate, it was one of the best experiences. It was brilliant. Christmas Day afternoon, you're going down these water slides and these these rapids and stuff, and you've got bruises on your elbows and your knees and all sorts. And then you just get in a hot tub, and you're just sitting there in this lovely pool, and you're just looking up, and it's pitch black, obviously, and the stars are out, and you're just like, this is mint. And
what did you
genuinely,
do for dinner?
It was
turkey and stuff.
So obviously we cooked and we ate, and then we I'd say Jenny cooked, and so we ate it sort of 12, half 12, whatever. And literally like turkey crown and then roast taters and veggie and also, and we just took some stuff with us. I mean, you can obviously eat out. So when you're there, you can go to certain restaurants and they will do your Christmas lunch. But we took some stuff with us and cooked, and it was brilliant. And we sat around the table and we had, honestly, I can't tell you, it was one of the best Christmas experiences ever. And the girls opened the sort of blinds and stuff in the morning in the lodge. And right outside, I kid you not, there was like a deer, and it proper looked like a reindeer. And it was literally like just a perfect Christmas picture. There was like a bit of a lake. There's some ducks and some geese and stuff on there. And literally right outside, it was right. And the girls were like, look. And it was just magical. It was brilliant. So yeah, we had such the best time. We had a great time. Not to rub it in, obviously, but
well, I wasn't planning on going to Elvedon, so there'd been no deer there.
Yeah, no, it was, but it was, and we actually said we would consider doing it again. And actually, Jenny had a look for this year, but obviously the dreaded COVID sort of put paid to that, didn't it? So. Yeah, if you ever get a chance, it's brilliant, and it does help. Obviously, if you've got kids and stuff, and kids are into Christmas, it's fantastic. Great time.
What about you then, Andy? What are your plans for then this Christmas Day?
So since we've lived where we live now, we've pretty much been selfish and had every Christmas here, I think. This year, I think my dad's coming over for the day, and that'll be it. I think I'd probably just do a few video calls to my mum and all that, and Mrs. Mum, but generally her family come and stay with us. And I think last year we had a Boxing Day party and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm quite lazy at Christmas time, like every other day actually.
So why Christmas?
normally like we cook dinner together. Then like last year, for example, I think Mrs. Parents came over, so we cooked all the food, watched a couple of Christmas films. It was great. I was drinking from about 10 o'clock in the morning, I think.
And it's weird because at Christmas, but you look at, if you actually stacked up what you ate and what you drank over Christmas Day, you'd be like, oh my good Lord.
Oh yeah, I don't think about it.
You just like, you've got like what we call them Scooby snacks. So you've got like your little nibbles, like your nuts and your crisps and stuff, your little trays and stuff. You got all of them. And then you've got your Christmas meal and you've got your chocolates. And then, of course, the Christmas buffet comes out at like, so you finish your Christmas meal at whatever time we normally eat about 2 o'clock. And then your buffet's out at like, so you finish at 4 or whatever. It's some chocolates, coffee, mints, this, that, and the other. And then the buffet comes out about 7 o'clock. You're like, I've literally only just stopped eating, but hey, why not dig in? Happy days.
Good job I'm only wearing a dressing gown.
Now there's an image.
One of the Christmas traditions, and I don't know whether you're going to go into this, but one of the Christmas traditions, me and Jenny, we will always have, so we'll have like champagne, or we might have like a Bucks Fizz or something when we come down first thing, sort of Christmas Day morning. So you have some Bucks Fizz, and then it's like, oh, a bit of coffee. I might put something in a bit of the coffee, a bit of a Bailey's or a bit of something in the coffee. There you go. And then you start the beer, and then you get your Christmas Day, and you get your food, and then it's wine. And then like Jenny's old man, he loves his port, so it's like you're out, the port comes out. And then, of course, you've got like your coffee and your mints, but then it always has to be liqueur coffee. So then liqueurs, and you think, and throughout the whole day, you then I'll have a cheeky pint here or a cheeky bottle here, and you just like you sit back at the end of the night, you think, holy fudge, like what have I just drank and ate?
Yeah. I always think that at Christmas Day, you think about it, you think, well, gee whiz, if I drank that on a regular day, I'm in a mess.
Yeah, I'm in a world of trouble. But you never.
I'm in A&E.
I don't know about you. You never seem to be like pissed on Christmas Day. Oh, I do.
Well, I think that's two things, isn't it? The amount you eat and also just the stuff you're doing throughout the day. You're not sat there drinking, are you? You're walking around, you're speaking to everyone.
Well,
in your head, you're walking around.
I'm in reality, you just sit on the sofa saying, "Kids, get me another drink, please."
Come on now, come on, Tilly. Yeah, thank. So this year, I think we've got Grandma coming over to us, and one of Kim's sisters, which is going to be strange because I think we've pretty much seen Kim's sisters every Christmas day for the past, well, maybe the last, I think 15 years. We've been together, so that's gonna be a little bit different because of the way the old bubbles work. But I'm still looking forward to it. And this year, after my constant moaning for the last 7 years, they've finally relented, and we're having goose this year. We've had turkey every year, and this year it's going to be goose. I watch Muppets Christmas Carol every year, and they talk about goose and I said no, this year this is my year. We're having goose, and yeah, that's
you cooking or not?
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Catching it yourself from the local park.
That's it. Well, I have a video on my phone, literally, where my daughter let me down big style, where we were down there, and the geese, were bullying a swan, and I made a comment about, no, stop it, or we'll have you on. You'll be the one we have on the Christmas table. And anyway, Kim and her mum took her down there, and Matilda yelled at them, "We'll see you on Christmas Day. I'll see you on the Christmas table. Mummy, I think we should have 2 of them." It's like, oh, gee whiz. And yeah, they knew it'd come from me.
Secretly, you're like, oh, that's 3 birds, that is.
That's it, yeah, that's it. Yeah, 3-bird roast. That's it. Let's do it. So let's harking back then to Christmases past. Gaz, go on. Tell a story that year that me and you got absolutely whammoed on Christmas Eve. Do you want to tell that one?
So
the year was 2019.
Or was it 2018? It could have been 17. No, years ago. So again, going back to actually pre-Geeks Christmas meal and stuff, there used to be a group of mates that went out. We always used to go out. In fact, there's 2 stories. So we always used to go out Christmas Eve and basically just get whammoed. And the first story that I'll tell you, and it is not pleasant. So I went out with the lads drinking, and it was actually Ad's brother John that was the main culprit. We'd been in local cricket club, and it was a case of have some beer and playing some pool and stuff. And it's like John was like, right, I'm going to get everybody some drinks. It's like, right, what's everybody want? Well, anything other than Pernod, John, just I hate Pernod. So he comes back and it's like, right, 6 double Pernods, boys. And I was like, John, are you kidding me? I fucking hate Pernod. Like, I literally hate it. And he's like, get it down you. So I was like, I drank this double Pernod and it's minging. And then about 10 minutes later, he come back, Pernod for everybody. Oh, setting in. So got home, got proper whammoed, went home. Woke up Christmas Day morning. Mum was still alive then, so sorry, Mum. And she said, I came down the stairs, and Mum was like, oh, thanks very much for the present that you left. And I was like, all right, no problem. Thinking like, what present? We haven't opened any presents yet. What is it, sort of thing? And went into the lounge, and there's just like a circular patch where Mum had basically been scrubbing because I'd basically puked the night before and gone bed. And sort of left it there. And obviously Mum, we woke up Christmas Day morning, there's just a pile of puke on the floor, which was mine, which is nice. So
smell was Pernod.
Yeah, probably did, yeah.
The smell of aniseed in it.
So that was one story. And then again, another year we'd been out, as me and Ad. In fact, it might have been the same year. It might have been this. Actually, think about it, it might have been the same year. So before I went home, I'd been back to Ad's, and we sort of walked back to Adam's, and we got to the door, and Big Tone was at the door, and he was just like the gatekeeper. He was like Gandalf, you shall not pass, sort of thing.
None shall pass.
And literally like, you shall not pass. And I was like, I'm only having a drink, Tony. He was like, not in this house, you're not. Like this. So I was like, oh, okay, Tony. And then I'd sort of stumble past him. He goes, come on, guys, let's get a drink. And he says, you are not having any drink in my house like this. I was like, see you later, Tony, sort of thing. And I proceeded to then sing at the top of my voice Christmas songs all the way home, and I subsequently found out that literally Tony was like, I wish he'd shut up like this, because literally you can hear him 5 minutes later shouting at the top of my voice walking. I
got you a beer for the walk home though.
Yeah, you got me a bit, yeah. No, he literally went into the kitchen, got a can or a bottle or whatever, and then like gave it to me through basically Tony's legs. There you go, guys, sort of thing. And then I was like, cheers, But yeah, he literally, and then obviously got home and then puked up and sort of thing. So yeah, that was sort of we used to have some good nights though, Christmas Eve, dude, didn't we?
That same Christmas Eve, I was sick out my bedroom window, and it was all down the French doors at the back. Like, so you got the dining table, you got the French doors behind it. It was all down the back. The first clue that my mum had that something was up, I was like, I'm just gonna let the dog out. something I've never done before in my life. Whereas I was there scrubbing sick off the window.
Yeah. We don't have a dog.
Yeah. That's it. No, that's the bird I met last night. Yeah, Merry Christmas, folks, if you're listening at home.
We did have some. We did have some good Christmas Eves. It was, and effectively that was a bit of a tradition with the lads. It was, there was a group of, I'll say, sort of 7 or 8 mates. Then on any given year, you'd end up with anything from sort of 5 to 8 of us, sort of thing. And obviously as we got a bit older and sort of girlfriends and sort of jobs and this, that, and the other, it sort of got slightly more diluted and stuff. But for
it for everyone.
Yeah, but for a number of years, the Christmas Eve night was a good night, wasn't it?
Awesome.
Yeah, and actually, just where I have never been part of it, but and again, it's a tradition that won't be happening this year due to COVID. But obviously, there's a group of lads in Alsager, and every year they go on the Alsager pub crawl, and every year is a different fancy dress. So literally they'll dress up in famous sports people one year, then there was like actors or actresses another year, and literally it's like, and they meet and they just get whammoed.
It's our old pal Martin, who we plays darts, who we used to play darts with, and Phil Day lives over the road from us now. That's their tradition, isn't it?
Yeah. And then you've got so you got sort of Rich Steele, I think, and you got, is it Rich Garrett? Maybe who's one. There's a number of lads that were sort of were part of it. I remember one year, was it Kev Boone? Was it that he dressed up as a Butterbean? The American actor, the American boxer. And Kev's sort of quite a large guy now, sort of shaved head and stuff. And he rocked up with these like boxing gloves on, and just these like American like sort of boxing pants, Butterbean written on them. And you're just like, you've just won Christmas. You literally have just won Christmas. It is brilliant. But people turn up as like McEnroe or Borg or whatever, and they would literally pick it. And one year was tweed, so everyone's tweed jackets and hats and all sorts of stuff. So, and that's a tradition, obviously, this year that isn't going to happen. And I don't know whether or not any of those guys listen to our podcast, but maybe we tag Phil Day, see whether he'd be willing to make a couple of comments or comment on sort of the stories about years gone by, sort of, because they've had some belting nights, and we've been out in pubs, and we've seen them come in and it's, hey up lads, and literally the whole of Alsager know about this tradition and stuff. So every year they do it, but obviously this year, because of COVID, again, that it's put paid to it, like a number of things,
It has. But one thing COVID cannot put pay to is another Christmas tradition, and that's Christmas TV, isn't it? Let's be honest, Christmas TV, Christmas music. You cannot fault it. Well, unless you're a bit grinchy like you guys are, you don't want to hear your Christmas music from mid-November. Yeah, you look around, Andy. I'm talking to you. So let's talk about then our favorite Christmas films. Let's pick out. We did the Kevin Spacey episode where we dragged it out for 2 hours. Let's keep this one within a 10-15 minute ratio.
What Christmas films did Kevin Spacey do?
Well, I thought that when I was writing mine, I thought I can't think of any with Edward Norton in. I can't think of any with Kevin Spacey. Yeah, Morgan Freeman. Yeah,
he's got to have played Santa in some weird
Santa
sort of,
or God or something.
God or something. Yeah, I don't play God. Was it Bruce Almighty?
Bruce Almighty and Evan Almighty, the follow-up he played. I was excellent in both.
Well, that's not Christmas, is it? So,
no. Who wants to chuck out first? Who wants to chuck out their top 3 Christmas films first?
Elf has got to be one of them.
Yeah.
I always like a Scrooge film, whether it's the Jim Carrey one was all right, but probably the is it Bill Murray?
Yeah, Scrooge, Bill Murray's in Scrooged, yeah.
I think that one, or is that the Muppets one as well, actually?
No, Muppets Christmas Carol was Michael Caine.
That
would probably be in my top 3, and I know for a fact it'd be in the girls' top 3. that Muppets Christmas Carol. Although actually we're on about Christmas and it's the 1st of December today, so we have a little family tradition. I'm not involved in this, but Jenny and the girls are, and they've watched the Snowman. So they've watched the Snowman. They always watch the Snowman on the 1st of December. And obviously we're recording this obviously now, and they watched that today. So that's another sort of little tradition that they have, and it wouldn't be my favourite Christmas films, but certainly in theirs it would be. Die Hard.
Well, but while we're on Snowman, though, do you know it's not Alan Jones who sings?
I knew that.
That's bizarre because you think of the Snowman, you always think of Alan Jones. He did not do. He did not sing on that soundtrack. That's bizarre, isn't it?
Walking in the air.
Yeah. That is
thought
not
that was
Alan
his
Jones.
thing.
He recorded it afterwards.
Yeah, he
but
did.
No,
yeah.
that is not. It's not an Alan Jones.
It was another
song.
choir. It was another choir boy, altar boy, whatever you call him. And he released it. And then I think Ali Jones was so popular at the time, and they went, "Oh, you should do that song and release it." And effectively, he released it as a single, and now everybody thinks it's him, but it wasn't.
Right now in Poland, where people love listening to us, they're thinking, "Who the fuck is Alan Jones?"
Googling.
You're the lucky guys.
But
He's
yeah,
like
I knew that.
50-odd-year-old guy who sounds like a little kid still.
So what's your top three then, Andy? Go on, Elf and
it's got to be one of the Scrooge films. I'm not really fussy. I think the Jim Carrey one's probably the worst one. I think it's CGI, but maybe the Muppets Christmas Carol.
CGI, yeah, Muppets Christmas Carol. Do you know what my beef is, though, before we move on? Do you know what my beef is? When people talk about Scrooge, you hear the expression Scrooge, what's the first thing you think?
Tight with the money.
Exactly. Gaz, same thing, yeah?
Yeah, Scrooge, yeah.
That bothers me because for me, the whole point of that story is redemption. He's a guy who was tight with the money and then realized actually I can give rather than take. And that for me, that's what Scrooge should mean because that's the whole premise of his character.
Yeah. It's like Frankenstein, though, isn't it?
Well, Frankenstein was the guy when he was not the monster. Yeah,
people don't care about the details.
No, exactly. Yeah, people sort of Frankenstein as the monster. No, Frankenstein was the guy who built the monster. But Scrooge, he was miserable, but he redeemed himself, and that for me, that's what the whole story. And I read Christmas Carol every year by Charles Dickens, and it's a fantastic story. But that's what it's all about. It's about redemption.
I forgot about the Grinch as well.
Yeah, I mean,
that was less about redemption. Oh no, it was a little.
Yeah.
I would go probably. I mean, Muppets Christmas Carol is a classic. And we joke about Die Hard. Is it a Christmas film? Is it not? I don't know. It's a decent film. I don't think it's traditionally classed as a Christmas film.
Every Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard because there's certain films that come on at Christmas that aren't necessarily Christmas films. You always get the Bond films that come on and stuff. Actual Christmas films, Elf is pretty cool. Arthur Christmas as a cartoon is pretty decent. I don't know. It's hard.
Jingle All the Way.
I watched that one. I love Arnold. I love Arnold.
You see, for you,
we know Andy loves Arnold. They have him at his table. That was his one of his.
He's going to Christmas.
What would yours be? Miracle on 34th Street? Would that be?
Good one. Actually, there's 3 versions of that. That's the most modern version. Is one of my favourites, and the original also one of my favourites.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be one of my top 3. Definitely have Alf because that is just a lot of fun. It's a great Christmas story. It's just feel good from start to finish. Someone as innocent as that telling that story. I just love that one. And then the other one I'd like to say, I love Christmas Carol. And actually, Muppets Christmas Carol is a great telling of the story.
Yeah.
If you ignore the fact that there was only Jacob Marley and not Robert Marley, which is a little bit of a nod to reggae as far as I can tell. Bob Marley is a great story. I love that one. But for my favorite Christmas film of all time, and funnily enough, it was one of my nan's favorite films as well. It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
It's not Christmas until I've watched that, and I just found it so heartwarming. From the very start, they start telling the story of George Bailey, and then at the end, when everybody gets together and ponies up the dough, if you don't shed a tear when you see that Christmas spirit, I just think there's something wrong with you. Gee whiz, I love that film. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. I love that story. Is that one that resonates with you guys?
It's you can't. It's synonymous with Christmas, isn't it? And it's one of those that
love Jimmy Stewart in that.
It's a film that I have watched. It's not one that if it's on, I've got to watch it. It's not one of those. It's not a Shawshank sort of thing. If that's on, I'm watching it. But it doesn't matter what time, day or night. So
if Morgan Freeman was Jim, it was.
Now you see, now I might be.
If he was George Bailey, you'd be in there straight away.
I mean, it is a good film, and obviously the story. I said the story behind it, but the message it's giving is great. Is it one of my favourites? No. Do I appreciate why it might be some people's? Yes, and I know you love it, Ad. And you always talk about it. So, personally, not massively one of my favourites, but yeah, it is there. It is up there. Not for me. Just okay.
So one of the other things that's synonymous with Christmas is music, Christmas music. Certainly around here, Santa comes to visit us on his sleigh, and they blast that music. What are those songs that make you think of Christmas? What are your favourite Christmas music?
The mid-November songs.
That's it. Mid-March is good enough for me.
I can't remember what's the name. Let them know it's Christmas time.
Yeah, Band-Aid
thing. Yeah, that one.
I think the original Band-Aid. I mean, I know my kids like to say that they're more in the remake and stuff, but the original Band-Aid is and will always be synonymous with obviously Christmas and stuff. And it probably is a decent song, and that's probably the one that I think reminds me of Christmas like the most. It's not my favourite Christmas song, but it's the one that reminds me. Obviously, I think that there's a couple. You bless him. You look at Mud. You look at Wizard. Was it Wizard? You look at Slade. There's a number of decent Christmas songs. Wham.
Bit of the bubbly.
Yeah, to be fair,
under his rock.
He must love this time of year because I bet he makes all 95% of his money in December. It's ridiculous. Mariah, there's. I'm not a massive fan of Mariah, but it's. I don't know. It's hard to put. It'll be lonely this Christmas. It's decent. Driving home for Christmas.
Chris Rea. Do you know what my beef is? Do you know what my beef is with Chris Rea on that one?
Where's he driving to? That's the problem.
He's driving home. We know that much. But where he's driving from is another matter. It disappears off Spotify every year because he charges that much bloody royalties for it. Yeah. Okay. I've got it. If you're listening, check out Christmas Beans on Spotify. I tell you what, that is a good playlist of some great music. Have a check out of that one. But yeah, one thing it won't feature, unfortunately, is Driving Home for Christmas because it disappears every year because he ups the royalties that he asks for every December.
Wow,
that's not in the Christmas spirit.
We retired 20 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, but if that's your only yearly income, then
still, I'm sure Spotify pay a little bit. What is one I'm going to chuck out for you? One that is a contentious one every single year. Fairy Tale in New York by the Pogues and Kirsty McCall.
Marmite's in it. That is Marmite song. You see some people and they absolutely love it. Some people are like, oh my god, worst song ever.
Who dislikes it? I don't know. Anybody who dislikes it?
Yeah, there's a few. I like it. I do.
I love it. But
here's a quick question. One of the guys at work. Sorry, just as an aside. Is Shane McGowan? And obviously, if he's listening, I apologise. But is he dead or not?
I don't think so.
No.
Because I was having this discussion with somebody from work, and I said Kirsty McCall definitely is dead.
There's a danger here because we're recording this 3 weeks in advance.
Is Shane McGowan 62?
Oh, okay, so there you go. Right, okay, so fair enough. Because I was like, I don't know whether he is. I said Kirsty McCall definitely is dead. I know that, but I said
again, a very tragic accident happened round about Christmas time when she was hit by a jet ski. Yeah. While on holiday, round about Christmas time, which is a sad story. But for me, I find it unusual that song is as contentious as it is because there's far worse songs out there, but some of the language obviously used in it, some people find offensive. But do they? That's my question. Is it one of those songs that people think, well, let's not play it just in case somebody finds it offensive? Or does anybody find it offensive? I don't know.
I don't think anyone cares.
I don't think anybody cares.
I think there are some people that I've got to be careful. I suppose the snowflake generation as such, and it's a bit like, oh, you can't say that because it says the word, is it faggot or something in it or whatever it is, and obviously when it was written, the connotation of that word is so completely different than perhaps maybe not now, but a number of years ago as to what people might think that word might mean and stuff. And I just think, you know what, it wasn't written for that purpose. I just think it's a bit of a snowflake generation of people that are like, oh, don't want to play it, it should be banned. Because I know there's a big thing this year about, people said it should be banned. So, not for me.
How long, when did it come out? And it's still being played up until last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Like its original version, whatever. But...
It's a great song. It is a
great
great song.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. And if you're upset by it, then I'm sorry. You
don't listen to it.
Don't listen to it. Yeah, exactly. Do not listen to it.
But to be fair, Andy, that goes for a lot of things. Not just don't listen to it, don't read it, don't listen to it, don't watch it. If you are offended by various things, just don't engage.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're offended by some things on social media, don't go on social media. If you're offended by some lyrics on some songs, don't listen to it. It's 100%. Not rocket science, is it? Do you know what I mean?
100%. Well, I don't think it'll feature in my top three, if I'm really honest. I do love it, but for me, something like, things like "Let It Snow" by Dean Martin, the old classics. I love listening to that. And the other one I popped down here was "The Cowboy Christmas Ball" by Michael Martin Murphy. Just a bit of country and western at Christmas. I don't think you can follow. And if you're listening to Christmas Beans right now, yes, that one's in there. Enjoy.
Who was it that did? I want to say, and I might be showing my ignorance now. Was it like the Ronettes or something? I saw Mummy kissing Santa Claus or something. Who was that? Was it? I don't know. Come on, Andy, Google.
Well, the Jacksons have done it. Jackson 5 did that one.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was thinking. I'm sure. Was it the Ronettes? I can't think, but that one's one.
Yeah, that's up there. But yeah, I like the Jackson 5 version.
There was one. There was. Was it called "The Spaceman Came Traveling"? Who sang that?
Chris Rea.
Was that a Chris Rea? Was it?
Yeah, Chris Rea sang that one, I think.
Yeah, so that. But to be fair, I think it's hard to say they're my top three because actually, when you think about it and you listen to it and you have a Christmas medley of songs, like, oh, that's a good one. It's Christmas. You're like, yes, that's it. And then the next one comes on. That's it.
Dude, I've got to tell you a story. Like years ago, I was based in Macclesfield and I was in a store and I knew I was getting my Christmas visit.
You're not going to do your Noddy Older story, are you?
It involves Noddy Older, and you've got to prepare your store because you got all the big wigs coming around, making sure that it looks awesome. And literally, my delivery turned up, no carrots on it. So I thought, I ain't having this. I ain't getting a rollicking for having no carrots like 4 days before Christmas. So I drove to the local Tesco's to buy all the carrots that they got from there because I wanted to avoid a rollicking. I'm walking around, and who do I come face to face with? Noddy Holder. Noddy Holder. So badly did I want to yell, "It's Christmas" in his face. But I didn't. I just went, "Merry Christmas, Noddy." He went, "Merry Christmas." That broad Brummie accent of his is beautiful. If you could bottle a moment, that would be it. That was Christmas.
And Noddy, if you're listening.
Yeah, Noddy, if you're listening. Do you remember me? So that's it. So the other thing, like I say, we talked about those TV specials. What are the TV specials you enjoy to watch most? The TV series that did that Christmas special, and what's the one TV series you'd love to see do a Christmas special?
Well, they don't know why. This is brilliant.
Oh yeah.
Was it the Batman and Robin? Was that a Christmas one? Was it maybe? Were they doing? I don't know whether that was a Christmas.
Yeah, because they do a Christmas party, don't they? And they dress up.
And and you've got the mayor, female mayor, and she's got this big anti-crime drive sort of going on, and she basically gets mugged or whatever. She's getting into a car, and then the camera pans obviously, and you've got the smoke and stuff, and just come running through got Del Boy and stuff, just running Batman and Robin. And they're literally faces like, as they run. And these muggers are like, so it just priceless. I mean those Christmas specials were decent. Ones that I don't know. I suppose going a bit retro, and Abigail, my youngest, would love me to say this. I suppose if you did like some sort of Friends re-mash up Christmas sort of episode, back in the day that was huge, Friends. So I think maybe do a Christmas special for that. I don't know really. It's hard. I don't know whether I don't watch many sitcoms now. I don't watch as many as I used to, so it's hard to think what's around. And I know was it Mrs. Brown's Boys and stuff that they might do stuff, but
that's a bag of shit, isn't it?
Vicar of Dibley Christmas special, back in the day.
You can't fault them. The other one, I tell you the one I love while we're on those religious specials. Christmassy Ted, Father Ted. Andy, you're a big fan of Father Ted. That was a gem when they lost in the laundry store.
Oh yeah, I'm have to watch them now.
I tell
the
you
lead
what,
up to Christmas.
that one every year. I always watch a Christmassy Ted. The other one, Bottom. Their episode. You know what I mean? I love Bottom. I love Rick Mail. Huge Rick Mail fan. I just think that one's awesome. The other one, I'm a big Alan Partridge fan. And his Christmas special is just so farcical. I enjoy it. The one thing I'd like to see in terms of a Christmas special would be Impractical Jokes. Big Impractical Jokes.
Yeah, you're a big fan, aren't you?
How awesome would that be? How awesome
Just get on him, tweet him, get on the old social media. Say, come on, guys.
Let's start. I've met Mer. He didn't give me his contact details, funnily enough. But let's
You should
start.
ask him for his phone number.
Yeah. Let's start mothering those guys. Let's make that happen because I think that'd be awesome. But then, go on. Let's finally then. When we sign off on the old Christmas TV, what's that one thing you have to watch every year, even if it isn't particularly Christmassy? Is there anything in your?
The Snowman, obviously, because the girls watch it, but that's literally just happened, so I might have got away with that for another year. I don't know anything that I have to watch. We did go through a phase of watching sort of the Queen, but I stopped doing that a number of years ago now. No, I can't think of one that there's, we have to do this or we have to do that.
Like Star Wars or Indiana Jones.
No, I mean I think if it's on and if we're not doing anything, we haven't got the old party games out, whatever. I think if it's on, we might watch the odd film and stuff, but. There isn't one that I look for, you think, oh, actually, you know what, that hasn't been on. It's always on at Christmas throughout. We have to watch it. I don't think so, dude. No, not really.
What about you, Andy?
Yeah, I was thinking then, I think last few years, the people we've had over whether have watched The Queen, but I don't plan anything. Like Home Alone, we didn't mention that as a film, but Home Alone film.
Classic Christmas film.
Great show. Yeah, great show.
Classic Christmas film,
I tell you one thing I always watch every year, and I find a quiet moment to myself. I've got a DVD tucked away, and I've got it set out on the side there, Under Milkwood, which is Dylan Thomas's play or play of voices, and it's done by like Welsh voices, so people like Tom Jones, Catherine Jenkins, Charlotte Church, and a number of other people, and I'll sit just for an hour and enjoy that. And I think that's.
Is that a quiet contemplation?
Yeah, just for me. It's so beautifully written and musically written because I think the Welsh in itself can be very beautiful when done in a poetic fashion, and I really, really, really enjoy that every single year. It doesn't have to be at Christmas, but every Christmas I find the time to do that one. Yeah. So I'm going to chuck a couple of dates at you now. March the 6th, April the 6th. And March the 25th. Do those dates mean anything to you guys?
No.
Andy?
Don't think so. No. Yeah, no. I think I've got some birthdays around there, but no, it's not dates.
Yeah. No. Funnily enough, it's not. Prior to the year 336, that's when Christmas is celebrated.
Oh, okay.
That's quite bizarre, isn't it? Because when we certainly in the northern hemisphere, we think of Christmas as a wintry thing. I guess if you're down in Australia and you're enjoying the surf on the beach, you're midsummer. We don't have any listeners in Australia, sadly. But isn't that bizarre that Christmas has been celebrated at different times? Because in our lifetime, December 25th, that's Christmas. Isn't that peculiar?
It is odd.
Christ wasn't born.
Well, in 336 AD, arguably, if I don't want to be contentious, he allegedly had been.
Oh, yeah, and I wonder, and I don't know whether or not, was it something to do with the influence of the church, or were they significant in the change of the day? I don't. When did that change occur? Effectively to become the 25th of December, I don't know.
Well, if you think about the year 336, you're talking about Roman times back then.
Yeah.
And the Romans celebrated something called Sol Invictus. And obviously the pagans were celebrating something to do with the sun also. That's how obviously Sol being the sun. And it was celebrating the winter solstice. So that's why a lot, arguably, because nobody really knows when Jesus was born, but that's why they picked that date, because it was a pagan ritual, it was a Roman ritual, and the Catholics and the Christians wanted to dominate those times, and that's why they picked that date. And nobody really, like I say, knows when Jesus was born. So that's it. But I think when you think of those sort of Christian times, you think of the church with its nativity setting, don't you? And snow and everything was synonymous with Christmas. But truthfully, he was born in the Middle East, so it's unlikely that he was.
I was going to say he's born in, was it Syria or wherever it was, or probably surrounded by sand as opposed to snow. But yeah, I mean, look. It's one of those things. It's probably a tradition. It's probably a date that has probably changed a number of times over the years, depending upon who wants to recognise it. Is it the Romans? Is it the church? Is it another? I don't know. I haven't really thought about it that much, but it's interesting to think that it hasn't always been the 25th of December, I suppose, in terms of the calendar as we know it, sort of thing. So yeah.
I find that peculiar, because for me, obviously, and for many other people, and it's unlikely to change, always going to be December 25th.
Yeah.
So, bringing it to a close, because we're coming up to the hour mark. We don't want to take up too much of your Christmas day, because no doubt you pause the Queen's speech to listen to this instead. Let's take our time then. Let's send out a Christmas message to all our listeners, and let's sign off and wish everybody Merry Christmas. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Joyeux Noël to all our listeners in France. That's probably Feliz Navidad. Maybe
that's Spanish, yeah. Feliz Navidad.
Maybe that might be one. Other than that, enjoyed it again, guys. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas. Really look forward to what 2021 holds for TBR, and I hope this damn COVID allows us to do the things that actually we want to do. So looking forward to doing loads more with TBR, and I hope you guys are along for the ride. Catch you later.
100%, dude. I like that one. Andy?
Yeah, have a good Christmas, and maybe just think about all the people that don't have people around, especially during COVID, that are on their own and all that soppy rubbish.
That's a great shout, actually, because I know Christmas is a time that you think about people that perhaps haven't got family members and are on their own and stuff, but even more so during times of isolation and self-isolation and lockdown and all of those phrases that have become synonymous with 2020, unfortunately. Just stay safe, guys, and you know what, if there's somebody that you know of that perhaps is alone, whatever, drop them a text, give them a call, just check in on them, because you know what, that might mean the world to them. So that great shout, Andy, that is, and I'll echo that 100%.
100% also from me. And to be honest, if you're sat there and you're listening to this and you are feeling a little bit lonely, tell you what, get in touch with TBR, because I promise you this, I will take the time to message you back. Yeah, it's absolute, totally relevant shout that is, dude. And I'm going to sign off with one of my favorite quotes for those who don't believe that Christmas should be.
Morrissey quote.
It's not Morrissey. It's not Morrissey. No,
God for
it's
that.
not Morrissey. But it is for those people who don't believe that Christmas should be celebrated before the 1st of December or the 24th in Andy's case. Truly blessed is he who keeps a little bit of Christmas in his heart every day. Take care.